Capturing employee feedback and tracking it over time is critical to ensuring that everyone in the organization feels engaged and productive. But knowing which questions to ask, interpreting results, and acting on the feedback can be a lengthy and time-consuming effort. The larger the team, the bigger the challenge, and that's what Microsoft Viva Glint solves for. As a scalable, fully managed solution, it streamlines and automates the employee feedback process, measured against proven drivers for employee satisfaction and engagement. Then, as a manager, easy-to-use dashboards with advanced analytics help you quickly interpret the results. And Copilot in Viva Glint lets you rapidly query thousands of comments to gain new perspective. You can even take advantage of workplace signals from elsewhere on the Viva Glint platform, such as Viva Insights, to connect the dots between favorability and how employees work. And to close the feedback loop, you can leverage people science-backed recommendations to take meaningful actions and drive positive change. In fact, today, I'll unpack how Viva Glint works, your experience as a manager, and how to customize Viva Glint as a service admin. Let me start by showing you a quick view of the survey completion experience for employees. Here, I'm in Outlook, and with this link, I can initiate the Viva Glint survey. And right up front, I'm told the expected time commitments based on the number of questions. There's a privacy statement to build trust in the confidentiality of results, with a link for more details. And as I click in to respond, notice you can take the survey in a language of your choice with up to 70 options. Questions can be answered against a proven scale. There are also options to leave comments in your own words, as well as options for multiple choice and other question types. These questions are uniquely crafted based on a science-backed approach. Our people science team developed an employee feedback methodology in partnership with Stanford University, derived from analyzing over 350 million employee feedback data points across 1,200 customers globally. This measures employee engagement across 5 core attributes: growth, clarity, connection, and well-being, and their impact on purpose in the employee experience. The result, compared with traditional question-heavy approaches, is that we can instead focus on the one right question, which helps increase survey completion rates. Once the survey closes, aggregated feedback across participating employees is then routed to you as a manager. In email, I'll get a nudge that results are available for my review. I can view and interpret the results, and by design, there's an action-oriented focus. I'm guided on what to do next, from having a conversation with my team to committing to action so that my team feels heard. And my survey response rate compared to our target benchmark, along with the number of comments, help me assess the level of engagement upfront. Next, I can dig in further to see how my score has changed over time, how it compares against the company average, as well as the breakdown of favorability. Viva Glint also summarizes my strengths as a manager and suggests the top opportunities for improvement. For example, this is my lowest scoring item and my biggest opportunity, so I'll click in. For each item I explore, I can again see how my score has trended over time and how it compares with the rest of the company. And importantly, I'm presented with data-driven recommendations that are continuously being evolved by our people science team so that I can understand and take action to improve. Once I'm done with interpreting results, I can move to the next stage and have a conversation with my team, where I can access a personalized presentation to discuss results and drive the discussion on potential actions. There's an overview of our team's results, things to celebrate, along with the breakdown of the biggest point changes against focus areas. And I can share what's going well, along with our areas of opportunity. And we agree together on actionable steps to improve in an area and more. And so you can quickly go from interpreting survey results, engaging with your team, and taking actions that can make a difference. Now, if you're managing multiple teams, this is where our advanced analytics shine. Under reporting, there are numerous pre-built reports to explore, and my alerts highlights areas that need my attention. Digging in further, I can see prioritization is again red, but this time the picture represents a cross-organizational view and the benchmark reflects how we compare in our industry. This is one of more than 200 benchmarks that we can compare results against. Now, I mentioned integration with the broader Viva Employee Experience platform. By correlating behavioral data from Viva Insights, I can, for example, quickly spot the relationship between favorability scores and declining manager one-on-one time, and see the breakdown across different teams by function, location, or department. And again, from there, I'm presented with suggested actions. These aggregated views and being able to drill down are a time saver and super insightful. Back in our reporting tab, a great aggregated report is the heat map, where you can quickly assess results across teams. Then, in the event that you have hundreds or thousands of comments to interpret, Comment Analytics summarizes the overall tone and sentiment. Word clouds surface the most common phrases used in feedback, and bubble charts show the semantic correlation between themes. You also have the option to view comments in their entirety. Our natural language processing categorizes top comments with prescriptive actions and others that represent broader sentiment. We use automatic machine translation into your preferred language where necessary. And there's also powerful filtering options to surface the insight you want. Then, with Microsoft Copilot and Viva Glint, you can get to the heart of the critical feedback. By exploring survey data using natural language and generative AI, here's an early look on what's coming. First, I'll open Copilot, and along with being able to submit my own prompts, it shows me suggested prompts. I'll choose, how do people feel about hybrid work? And then it returns a summary based on the benefits and challenges cited in survey feedback. And it suggests more prompts. I'll probe further into the differences seen across the workplace. And it responds with data-derived insights, highlighting that while remote workers were 10 points more favorable on flexibility, they scored 6 points lower on connection with others. The next suggested prompt about network size offers more context, where the more remote employees are, the less connections they have, whereas in-office employees score the highest. So that was an overview of our experience as an employee or manager with Viva Glint. Now, if your job is design and run employee engagement programs, let me show you how you can set up a Viva Glint program without needing technical skills for coding or building websites. First, you need to bring in your employee data, like employee profiles, where they sit in the organization. For this, you'll import HRS data from either CSV files or configure a secure SFTP connection. Next, you'll need to prepare your survey, your target audience, the questions, how you would like to report the results, as well as notifications and nudges. Viva Glint gives you access to dozens of survey templates developed by our expert people science team. Everything from recurring programs like diversity and inclusion to lifecycle programs from onboarding to exiting, which are designed to give you confidence that you are prioritizing the right questions. Once you've selected your program and named it, you can configure preferred language and define your communication strategy. Most importantly, as a data controller, you have the power to set your program's confidentiality configuration. Next, you'll identify your target audience and define when and how often your program will be sent to them. You can set the frequency of the program, as well as define the responses and conversation windows. And from here, you can select and design your program questions. As I mentioned, our program templates have a predefined set of questions. That said, you can edit, remove, and add custom questions and set conditions for when the question is displayed, depending on a previous answer. For example, for someone giving a low score answer, you can use a dependent question to ask why or vice versa. This allows you to follow up for more details without issuing another survey. At this point, the core program configuration is almost done, and the next step is to select who will receive the program outcomes and how they will be reported. Finally, you need to define when the notifications and nudges will be sent to your target audience. And once everything is set up, you just need to toggle this button to approve. And you're all set, your program is active. As a SaaS service, there's no limit to the number of surveys or responses that you can set up. And for IT, if you don't have this service running, you can find everything you need at aka.ms/deploy-viva-glint. And with that, you're ready to take proactive steps to continually measure and improve the employee experience inside your organization to keep everyone engaged and productive. To learn more, check out aka.ms/viva-glint docs. Keep watching Microsoft Mechanics for the latest tech updates, and thanks for watching.